Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cube. It's one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day, y'all. Can you believe the week is almost gone? Yes, this fine day is Thursday, December the 2nd in the year 2021. And yes, we got just a few more days left. And beloved, we are out of 2021 and rolling right on into 2022. Well, it's a great day to be alive, as we say. It's another day's journey, and we're glad about it. I appreciate you all coming in here to hang out with me on this fine day. I love it here. I love it here because I'm able to be here with each and every one of you. It just makes my day. And Kai Chick, I know you're lurking and working, but listen, when you talk about coming in and having some opportunity to get a little love, a little peace, a little joy, it's folks like you that make it all worthwhile. And I'm so glad that you're here. Now, y'all know how we get it started. You know how we get it crack-a-lacking. And we start with that beautiful chair, and the VIP area for those that get up bright and early in the morning. I mean, early in the morning. Y'all come in the lion's den like you're looking for Jesus on the morning of resurrection. Y'all come to the tomb to see who's up. No, this ain't no tomb because there's life over here. But y'all come like the women going to the tomb early in the morning. And I'm like, Lord, these saints ain't playing. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are so faithful to the call. You're so faithful to what you do. I appreciate you. So with that being said, let's identify that VIP area on this morning. Because look at here at 12 o'clock in the morning. The saints were coming in the lion's den. So we're looking. Let me come over here so I don't call out the wrong name, because child, if I go on my memory, it'll be y'all be upset with me. Yes, and I was getting ready to call the wrong name because the second runner up that's getting in that love seat, Kim Possible. Yes, you are the second runner up, and I'm so glad that you got your lips, your hips, and your fingertips over in that chair. I appreciate you, sis. This is my pastor from ATL. I love you, and good morning morning to you. Yes, at 12:41 a.m., you came in just a little tardy behind our other sisters that got their lips, hips, and fingertips in that chair. However, you made it into the VIP section. Come through, sis. Come through. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now, let's get that first runner up. That first runner up that came in just a few minutes. Thank you, Kai Chick, for gifting that to Miss K Love. I appreciate that. And Miss K Love, welcome to the Lion's Den. You are officially a lion, and we love you, baby. We love you. Now, the first runner-up that came in just a few minutes after midnight and got her lips, hips, and fingertips into that chair. Tall pumps, tall. And you get your lips, hips, and fingertips perched on that love seat because, baby, you made it this morning. And listen, this is my friend, and she's just as faithful to the streams as the day is long. I mean, I look up in every single stream, and Tall Pumps is in there. I appreciate you, sis. And yes, you did get on the love seat in the VIP section. Now, let's come to the grand prize, the place that everybody is trying to get to. And listen, you got to get there early in the morning. I mean, early in the morning. 12 o'clock in the morning on the dot, y'all. We have the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair, none other than Shelly Thunder. You are the winner, my friend, of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Yes, Shelly Thunder. You did it, girl. You did that thing. And listen, as I always say, I got you fixed this morning. Up above my head, I hear thunder in the air. There must be a Shelly Thunder somewhere. Y'all better ask somebody. All this thunder up in the room. All of this thunder up in the room. Shelly Thunder, I appreciate you. And you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. And you know we love you over here in the Lion's Den. Now, let's get this party crack-a-lacking, y'all. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking, and y'all know how we get it started. But I also like to give some appreciation, and y'all show some mod loves to my moderators. Shelly Thunder, I call her the prophetess. She is a moderator in this channel. Y'all give her some love. Coming with that, listen, the Rebel Inc., who's been my day one. I appreciate the Rebel Inc., and the Rebel Inc. is all of that and a bag of chips. Come through. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me get that out of there. The Rebel Inc. is I call her Faithful. Faithful is exactly what she is. And that's just in every area of her life. If you ever connect with Rebel, honey, she's going to be faithful. That's what you're going to find out about this child. And I love her. I love her. I love her. Last but certainly not least, my quiet storm, Michelle Brownell. Man, they get... Shelly, I see you taking the bow. I love the bow. Come through, sis. I come through. Yes, my quiet storm is Michelle Brownell. This baby she changes the atmosphere just by her presence. These are three powerful women, and they handle their business and our business, my business, over here in the Lion's Den. Y'all be sure and give them some mod love, because listen, they make it happen over here for real. And I love them. Kai Chick, thank you for hosting the stream, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Kai Chick is working and lurking, but she's in here. Now, you know, the subscriber of the week, Sheila Miles, is the subscriber of the week. And I want y'all to know I appreciate every last one of you that come in and support and subscribe. But as I go through, I want to take an opportunity to individually tell each one of you thank you. And hopefully I'm going to get a chance to get everybody acknowledged in the weeks that come ahead. Sheila Miles is the subscriber of the week. Listen, she gets in there with her biddies. She gets in there with her subscriptions. She gets in there and gifts. She gets in there and shows every area of support that she can to the life and the health of this stream. And we appreciate her on this week. Thank you, Sheila Miles. We appreciate you. Now listen, let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get this party started. Y'all know how we do it over here. So let's start off with telling everybody good morning. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Because listen, it's time to get this party crack-a-lacking. With that, I want to say good morning, tall pumps. You pumping tall up in here this morning. Good morning, Shirley Thunder. I'll tell you what, come ahead. Go ahead. All hail the queen. Giving you a royal nod from the love seat. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are the best. I'm telling you, you really are. Nancy Jackson, come through. I appreciate you this month. Hey, thank you so much for doing that with the stream. I appreciate you, Nancy. Listen. And we're giving prayers up to Nancy on this morning. She's in the hospital, but she's still up in here. And we appreciate you on today. And God be with you as you go through your procedure on today. BTD Mom, I love you, sis. I love you. Come on, and I see you in the Lion's Den. Kai Chick, I said it once before, but I'll say it again. Good morning to you. Come on in the Lion's Den. Stacy 546, I see you. That's my sis, and I love you so much. The Rebel Inc., I see you. Cassandra Isaiah, you're in the Lion's Den. I see you. Come through, come through, come through. I love you, sis. Auntie Diddy is in the room. Her husband, Uncle Diddy, is a streamer. We had a great time when we rated him on yesterday. If you're not subscribed to Uncle Diddy, please follow him. Please, please, please. He will bless your whole life. And he is, listen, let me tell you this about Uncle Diddy. He's not a dead streamer. He comes in, he talks, he laughs, he keeps you entertained during that whole entire stream. I just love his energy. Y'all go out there and support my guy. Please, please, please. I love you. Sheila Miles is in the room. Good morning to you and welcome to the Lion's Den. Jonna CPW, I see you. I messed around and called her out a lurk. I didn't mean to, but we love you anyway. And thank you for being so understanding, sis. I love you. Mufasa, yes, he's here. Truck driver 57 is in the room, y'all. And at the end of the day, I love this man. He is a whole blessing and a whole vibe. Anita Harvey is in the room. I see you, sis. Come on in. SK8843 is in the room. I see you. Come through, come through, come through. I'm looking and I'm booking, I'm identifying, and I'm saying, Lord, look at all of these beautiful people that are in the Lion's Den this morning. I'm coming on up and I don't want to miss anybody. Listen, Lena Will. Yes, you guys, Lena Will, otherwise known as Phoenix Lee Orr, that comes on Reboot on Friday. Yes, tomorrow, 2 o'clock. You guys got to be there because Reboot is going to be rebooted. We had a week of vacation, but baby, they like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. I'll be back. They are back on tomorrow, and Lena Will is in the room. And you know what? Lena Will got a birthday coming up here in a few days. So does the Rebel Inc. Let me drop that FYI. Sunday is the Rebel Inc.'s birthday, December the 5th. So y'all, you know what? I'm gonna have to throw a little birthday. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do it right now. Well, no, let me finish saying good morning to everybody. Let me stay on track so I don't get off. I'm trying to see. I think I got everybody. Let me take another look here. Okay, I'm looking. I think I got everybody. Good. Now, while we're here, and I know the birthday is Sunday, but listen, I appreciate the Rebel Inc. and I appreciate my girl Lena Will. So I'm gonna do this for both of them while they're in the stream on today because they are so critical to the streams that I produce, and I love them. And you know, at the end of the day, I believe that appreciation is always in order. We're going to do it today, and it's Thursday, but listen, I'm excited that I have both of them in the room at the same time. This is for the Rebel Inc. and Lena Will, who are two vital components to my stream. Come through with the happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lena, I had to get it in this morning because I know you're not an early riser. I'm not exactly sure why you up so early this morning, but I had to get you while I had you, baby. But you know I love you. Listen, happy birthday, early birthday, and know that we love you in the Lion's Den and every facet of viewership. Listen, what you're doing in Reboot, we just applaud you. We love you. Let's get it going. Now, and the same for Rebel Inc. I had to do it while it's on my mind because y'all know I'll be done forgot. But I did have to get my girl. I don't know why she's up so early this morning, but she's here. Listen, but I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every minute of it. And we're so glad to have you up in here. Now, let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Y'all know how I do. Let me get my music started, and we're going to get started talking about what had happened was while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. There's a few things that happened, y'all. So I appreciate you, and we're going to get this party crack-a-lacking. Now, listen, I want you to hold on to your weave, hold on to your wig, and we just gonna talk about what had happened was while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. There's a few things that happened up in the house. So let's talk about it. Let's have a chit chat. Let's get it going. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. I see you, BTD mom. I see your coffee cup. Let's get these coffee cups out and let's get started talking on this morning about what's going on in the world while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Listen, Tall Pumps, those vocal cords. Get them together, sis, and come on and lay it on her. Get those vocal cords together and lay it on her. I see your coffee cup, Stacy546. And here we go. Now listen. I'm looking. I see you, Shelly Thunder. You know how we take it over here, Shelly. No cream. And listen, let me give it up for you again because I know you're in the room. How's that for some thunder? Listen, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tell it like a T-I-Z tis. I appreciate y'all on today. Now, one of the stories I want to open with the reality of one of listen, they call him the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant. I had a classmate named James Avant. I was getting ready to have just a mental slip right there. Jacqueline Avant. the wife of the music lesson legend Clarence Avant. I keep wanting to get my classmate in here. Clarence Avant. Listen, Stacy 546 and Mel, y'all probably cracking up that I keep saying James Avant because y'all know that's one of our schoolmates. Clarence Avant, 81 years old, was fatally shot in Beverly Hills in her home, and in what appears to be a home invasion. But you know, I'm just like, your vocals are crack-a-lacking. That's okay. Make a joyful noise, BTD mom. Make a joyful noise. She'll receive it however you bring it. You know, if you get a chance to go out and watch, I believe it's called The Black Godfather on Netflix. I think that's the name. And if that's not right, Rebel, you can correct me down there in the chat. I did not know of this man, but the interesting thing about it is everybody that is somebody knows this man. And so many people got to where they are and were pushed. Thank you. I wasn't sure if that was right or not. When did he get famous? I know, Stacy. If you get a chance, and not, it had nothing to do with the idea that this day would come, but my goodness, go out there and watch that and see how influential this man has been to all of the music industry, for all of the big name stars. I think unequivocally and fully. Good morning, Disco Darren. This is my brother in the room. He is a streamer. If you all are not following him, groove morning to you, sir. Good groove morning to you. Happy Thursday. Please follow Disco Darren. He comes on Tuesdays and he will bless your whole life, and he is a vibe all by himself. So please go out there and follow my brother. Good morning to you, sir, and we're so glad to have you in the Lion's Den. Get your coffee cup out. So at the end of the day, you know, I looked at this story, and you know what my takeaway when you talk about somebody as powerful and as significant as Clarence Avant. And when I say this, I mean, go out and watch the video, because this man's fingerprint is on everybody's career. This man's fingerprint is single-handedly on everybody's career. You know, had a period. I see that coffee cup, Disco Darren. I see that coffee cup. So what I learned about Clarence Avant is move in silence and do big things. Move in silence and do big things. There are very few people. You never heard of this man. Listen, if you go out there and Quincy Jones, everybody, Nancy, pays homage to Clarence Avant, because when I say his fingerprint is all over it, his fingerprint is literally all over it. It's an amazing story of a man that was obviously during the Jim Crow era born and raised, and how he just made a path all for himself. He just broke away. So Nancy, if you get some time while you're laid up there, if you have access and can get it on Netflix, The Black Godfather, you want to watch it, because it's the story, the true story of James Avant. And when you see how much these people reverence this man for what he has done and created for careers and livelihood and opportunities in life. Yes, right on up to Quincy. James, I'm sorry. I keep, my classmate is in my head. Clarence Avant is all over it. Yes, got The Godfather. You went to James Brown, but listen, I'm gonna tell you what, at the end of the day, there'd be none of these tall pumps. I mean, that's literally how influential this man is in the music industry. You wouldn't hear any of these names. So if you got Netflix, go check it out so you can see how this man, and just really matter of factly, he's one of those guys that speaks his mind. You never have to wonder about what he's thinking. You never have to wonder about where he's coming from. He's very matter of factly. He's very frank on both sides of the aisle, white, black. He actually wields respect from everybody. And you know, you just got to back up and look at personalities and say, wow. You just got to back up and say, wow. And I'm thinking, I can only imagine for the years of marriage that he's had to this one woman and built a family, and she journeyed with him through the good, through the bad, because as is not uncommon in the story, and I'm a person, I love biographies and autobiographies. He was able to kind of direct this because the man is still alive. And chronicle his journey with footage and clips of everything that has happened. And I looked at this woman. He had ups, he had downs, he had highs, he had lows. He had I got it, then he had I lost it, and then he had I got it back. It's just a powerful, powerful story of people moving in silence, people being consistent, people being persons. They care about everybody, deal with everybody, and it's a powerful story. So if you look, almost everybody in the industry on yesterday was expressing condolences to the loss of his wife in this senseless homicide. I mean, Jacqueline Avant, I don't care who the entertainer was, every Instagram post, Facebook post, you saw everybody paying homage and condolences to the Avant family in the senseless murder of Jacqueline Avant. Our hearts go out to them, our prayers, you know, and I know a lot of y'all don't even know, you've never heard this name before, but I promise you, go out there and you're going to know how big his name is, because if you look on all of these individuals' pages, they're all referencing and giving condolences to Jacqueline Avant, because it's just that huge in that industry. And along with them, we want to offer our condolences and our prayers as well. End of the day, prayers going up, and the senselessness that's going on in our country, it doesn't care about status, it doesn't care about names, it just is senselessness. I could have a rant, but I'm not going to, about the need for gun control. And with that, let me transition over to my next story. Now, for those that have heard about the dastardly deed that was done out there, I got a picture of Brother Avant. Let me put a picture of him and his beautiful wife, so you all can. Okay, it's gonna be squirrely on me, so I'm not gonna go that route. While we're talking about gun control, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, you know, there's all kind of stuff that's coming up about this kid that shot up all of these folks out here. I just don't even know what to say. There is the reality that they're saying they're going to try him as an adult. They're going to go ahead and try this kid as an adult. The parents of the suspected Oxford High shooter visited the school that day because they said his behavior was concerning. Not only did the parents visit that day, but the parents also had been contacted, and you know, they had reached out with regards to this individual, this young man, and the fact that he was acting some kind of way really, really weird. So the 2 days prior to the shooting, this kid had already been called into question, and the very day that he killed these folks, the parents had actually been brought in. So come on, the white teen that killed the kids in Michigan. I see you, Disco Darren. And I hear you. And so now there's a question this morning as to whether or not they're going to also, yes, they're going to try him as an adult, but there's a question as to whether they're going to also try the parents, because it was reported to me that this kid had this gun purchased for him by his parents just a few days prior to this incident. You know where I'm going. BTD mom, tell Mount to get ready. Could The devil. Baby, this ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. This ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. So at the end of the day, you got a child that's already, yes, another purchase, Tall Pumps, another purchase from the parents for this child, this 15-year-old child. And this is where, I said I'm going to segue here from Mrs. Avant, who is senselessly murdered in her own home, shot to death. Then we have all of this over here where these children are having weapons put in their hands. Yes, his daddy, Nancy, bought him a gun. And at the end of the day, I hope and I pray that those parents are charged, because we're sick of it. And as was said, not only are they deciding to try him as an adult, but they're also identifying and trying to determine, are they going to try him as a terrorist, because the people that he selected were targeted. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when you got parents that are complicit with these little bad kids, these little terrorist renegades that are out here running around with their crazy selves, I feel like everybody in the house need to go to jail. Now, this is Yes You O Cubed one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. And listen, at the end of the day, you know how we take the coffee over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. I feel like, and let me take my shades off, because I don't just throw shade, I shed light. I feel like everybody and their mama, everybody need to go to jail. Everybody need to go to jail, because we're raising these little homegrown terrorists. We're raising these little homegrown terrorists to go out here and traumatize and terrorize the world. And then, unfortunately, the wrong message was sent with little Mr. Rittenhouse. Unfortunately, that message has gone out. You can do whatever you want to do. And listen, I just want to know, is he going to claim self-defense? Is he going to claim self-defense? I feared for my life. I feared for my life. And of the 6 folks still in the hospital, several are on life support with head and neck wounds, Nancy. First, the mother drove her teen to a riot to help protest property that's not even his. Now these parents purchased a firearm for their teen, Disco Darren, and these parents need to be locked up, including Rittenhouse's mother. And I've said from the very beginning, why were there no charges brought against Rittenhouse's mother? Because she was complicit in the boy's crime. You gonna take him across state lines, obtain a weapon that you were not old enough to obtain in your state across the state line, and then kill up some folk, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing done to you? Sweet Jamaica, come on in the Lion's Den. We're so glad to have you this morning. Join the crew. We love you. Wait for the story of him being bullied. Come on, Tall Pumps. We always have to have a narrative, and I really feel like they're already kind of starting to work a mental health defense, some kind of, he wasn't well, because, now listen, we talked to you on Monday. You can't get your son under control. That should have been take the gun away. We talked to you on Tuesday. You can't get your son under control. That should have been a take the gun away. We make you come to the school and talk to you on Wednesday, and you still don't take the gun away. And at the end of the day, we got a bunch of dead bodies. So at the end of the day, I'm just waiting for either a mental health defense or as has been so efficiently and effectively used by privilege on display, POD. I will not be surprised if this joker has, as you said, tall pumps. He's been bullied and he really was acting in self-defense. Oh, BTD mom, the lawyer already said wait for the whole story. Listen, the whole story is these little supremacist children are out of control. That's what the whole story is. The mama and daddy immediately lawyered up and refused to talk or let him talk to the authorities. You think? Lock all there up. I got you. The parents posted all over SM before it happened, like him. And listen, now he's on suicidal watch. You know, whatever. Suicide watch, suicide watch, suicide watch. You done killed up a whole bunch of people. Listen, it's a whole lot that I could say right here. Listen, if that would have been a black teen that called the rioters in Antioch, Illinois, he would have never seen the light of day. And you were telling the exact truth, Disco Darren. And we've got to keep the feet to the fire of how we have such a big discrepancy between what happens when black and brown bodies do it versus what happens when white bodies do it. How we charge them is different. What happens, I mean, listen, and you talk about not seeing the light of day, baby, they done woke up dead. A black child in Antioch with that protest would have woke up dead. Just call a spade because that's the truth of the matter. You're not even gonna get to the jury. You're not even gonna get to the judge and the courtroom. They gonna kill you dead on the spot and then have a reason why they thought you had a gun even though no weapon was found, but they had to shoot you down like a dog. Now, you know, folks, this mess, I really, and I know the whole truth. Listen, it's the truth, tall pumps. It's the truth. Sip on, baby. Truth. It's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So at the end of the day, I have to say, again, from my place of I am still an advocate for nonviolence. I really, really am. And to each his own, I support everybody in the area of your belief. This is no way, shape, or form intended to put you down or speak negatively or on the sly, get in a jab. That's not where I am. I still am an advocate for nonviolence, and I feel like all of these guns that we got out here flowing is gonna be the death of us, literally. And I have yet to see, you know, these little kids coming out the woodwork with their parents buying them weapons, and they're out here shoot 'em up like they in the wild, wild west. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. This needs to stop. Nancy, I don't know if he was bullied or not. The group he shot at was special needs. They interviewed a targeted student's dad. The police were amazed at his aim and accuracy. He shot 12 rounds and hit 11 people. So you know I got to give it to you. Mount, get ready. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. I just don't know what to say, y'all. I just don't know what to say. BTD mom, you said it. A black child would be dead at the scene. He wouldn't make it home. He wouldn't make it home. And you were telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. That is the truth. He wouldn't have made it home. With an AR-15 firearm walking in the street towards the police with hands up, he still would have been shot down by the police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And you are absolutely correct. Absolutely. This joker with his hands up walks back. Now, you know, I'm wondering, because why did the police not stop this child? You walking with the AR-15 in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street. And we still are up in the air about that little, what looked like it could have been a hand signal to the popo, and walked right on by. Lord, today, this is the, this woo, but it's happening. Let me unshade. Let me take my shades off, because you know I don't just throw shade, I shed light. It's happening because it's this kind of egregious behavior that's going to make, again, those that are on the fence and some that are real close to the fence on the other side. This is going to be the tipping factor. These types of behaviors, to me, are going to be the tipping factor that's going to make people wake up and say, look, he walked past the popo and went home, Disco Darren. Walked past the popo, got his lips, hips, and fingertips loaded with the AR-15 in his mama's car and rode home. Sweet Jamaica, where is the criminalization of this young man? If he had been black, that would have already started happening, and you know what? They would have dug all into his past. And even in the situation of Sweet Jamaica, you had Ahmaud Arbery, who's just running down the street. They want to pull in his mental health records. Now, this is the victim, and you want to pull in his mental health records. You want to dig all into, did they have any kind of a rap sheet? Have they committed any crimes? Have they been charged with anything that has absolutely positively nothing to do with the situation at hand? But every black person, you might as well get ready. Criminalization is going to start happening right off the bat, and we have not seen any of that, Sweet Jamaica. And yet and still, we want to continue to propagate all of the change and forward movement and progress that we've made in this country, because we don't want to call a spade and we don't want to call stuff out. And the days of black folk just sitting back and saying nothing and just pretending like, well, you know what they said. Listen, what they said ain't working no more, because listen, black lips are talking. Good morning, Mel. Come on in here and let's roar, girl. Come on in here and let's roar. MPO, but I promise I need some. You need some brown liquor and some weed. This story is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's amazing still, as has been pointed out, and I'm going to continue to point it out every time it happens, because I feel like spiritual thought leader, that doesn't help the cause at all. Yes, it does, because every time it happens, we need to point it out. We need to make it clear. We need to make it understood for the people in the back that really want to get up and claim that all of these things in our society have changed and we've made all this progress. Baby, I feel like I could have been marching back in the 60s right now today. Because it's the same thing. And at the end of the day, I am a man. I am a woman. That's all Black Lives Matter is saying. I am a man. I am a woman. And we were saying it back in the 50s and the 60s. And unfortunately, in 2021, we still have to say it. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to say it. We're going to say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Oh, yes. So there you have it. That is the update that's coming. And I'm going to say it once more and again. And I know we got the folks out there that love your weapons. But listen, these weapons are working. Oh, my God. I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be some other kind of measurement here that's going on with who can own a gun. Because some of these crazy folk that, listen, you know they crazy. They have no business having a weapon in their possession. Come through, Stacey. Fox News is actually steadily trying to make Rittenhouse out as a victim. And I bet money they are going to do the same with this kid. Stacey, and you are not far from the truth. Fox News, there's a special place in hell for Fox News. Good morning, Stacy Blessed One. Come on in here, sis. I love you. Stacy Blessed One is a streamer, and I promise you, if you go out there and follow her, she will bless your whole life. Please follow Stacy Blessed One. And good morning to you, sis. We in here this morning, and we're so glad to see you. Betty has that shirt. Interpretation of tongues. Betty has that shirt on 24/7, and you either turn it down or the channel as often as you can. And you know what? And I get it. Betty is old and up in age. And unfortunately, it's old white folks, old and up in age, and no offense to your baby, but old white folks listen to that mess, and they continue to hear that propaganda pushed down their throats, and they continue to believe the lie. They continue to believe this false reporting, and unfortunately, this is part of what puts the cog, the clink, the cog in the wheel, so that it won't turn, because you keep pushing these false narratives, and these folks look to that for their news. And I'm like, come through, Mel. If he gets a book, get a book deal and a movie. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's why they're called Fox. They slick and sly. Faux news is the pit, Jonna. It is the pit. It's just as fake can be. So, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, Stacy, I understand with someone at that age, but this is where I'm looking to youngsters to say, I need you to do something different. But obviously, because we're seeing these young radicalized kids. Now, I would venture to say they probably ain't, they not the brightest bulb in the pack anyway. And I don't know. I'm not, this is just my opinion. They are probably not the brightest bulbs in the pack anyway, but they've been radicalized, and we see the effects of their behavior. That's just it. She's deaf as a post. I'm the only one. Not that she's deaf. And you gotta listen to it. Oh, Stacy, what the fork, spoon, and the knife? I feel sorry for you. You watch 1-800-STL News. We're so glad you're here. I know, Rebel. Wait a minute. That was the cracks. Oh my God, that is so funny. And listen, at the end of the day, we got work to do, but there is hope. And I want to pull that in while we're talking about, we understand the old folks from the privilege on display generations. We get it. I know, Kai Chick, they are the cracks. We get it. But listen, there's a new sheriff in town, and I believe it's going to get to us through the young folk. So this is something that I want to touch on quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because listen, like I said, we're not taking it anymore. And there was a new poll that just came out that said young Americans are raising alarms about the U.S. democracy. And everybody ought to be raising alarms about the U.S. democracy. So at the end of the day, this is why I keep saying it's happening, y'all. It's happening because the generation of today has basically had an opportunity to observe several decades and a couple of generations, my mama, my grandma and them, and they've looked at this scenario and they're saying this is jacked up. This is a bunch of BS. This is a bunch of a mess. And so they are at this point organizing. I love this article. This is out there. This is from NPR. It's out there in my Discord if anybody wants to go out there and read this article. But I loved it. And it said the majority of our young Americans are very worried about the state of democracy in the U.S. And this is a Harvard poll that was done across the country. And so the poll found that over 52% of young people in the U.S. believe that the country's democracy is completely in trouble or has already failed. Now, y'all can say what you want to for everybody that wants to get sensitive and say, oh no, our democracy is still intact. These young folks ain't far from the truth. Because at the end of the day, they're like, we're not getting ready to bury our heads in the sand. We're not getting ready to act like we don't see what we see. We gonna call a spade a spade. So they're saying they feel that it's already in serious trouble or it has already failed. So come through, Kai Chick. Come through. These are smart kids. These are kids, you're not just gonna cram something down their throat. These are kids that investigate. Listen, Lena Will's on here. Lena Will was one of the first ones to tell me, listen, Aunt Jean, you can find anything on Google. Listen, to take that to task, my little great nephew at Thanksgiving asked my sister, do you have Google Games? And so she said, I don't know. I don't think so. And he said, do you have Google? And she said, yes. He said, then you have Google Games. These little kids, you're not gonna pacify them with I don't know. You're not gonna pacify them with all this, mega information, really lack of information, and think they gonna swallow that stuff hook, line, and sinker. Monica, that's what that boy told her. He looked her dead in her eyes. He looked her dead in her eyes and said, do you have Google? And she said, yes. He said, well, then you got Google Games. And then proceeded to take the phone and pull it up. I was done. And his little sister, who is, I don't know how old Langston is. I want to say Langston is 4, somewhere there about. Baby, they got those phones and they started fingers the kids do this. They got that. They got it down. Baby, them fingers went to town, and the next thing you know, all of our phones had Google Games on it. That's the generation that we're dealing with. So listen. They're not that group that's out there. We went to school and whatever they told us, we believed it. Baby, these kids will look you dead in your eye and challenge you. Is that so? Are you sure about that? Let me get Google and Google it. Baby, they had all the phones. Rebel, they had all the phones. Oh, child, that cracked me up. Listen, they don't have carpal tunnel at 5, baby. They were going at it. I mean to tell you, that's the generations that we're dealing with and a little bit older. You're not going to give them that same garbage that we were fed. That same garbage that we were told, and think they're gonna eat that stuff. Baby, it was a Google game raid. I'm here to tell you, they got everybody's phone. Everybody that left Thanksgiving has Google Games pulled up in their phone. So listen, these young folks are tech savvy. These young folks are thinkers. I mean, and you can look even with the little kids. Now listen, you can tell those kids something and they'll stand there and you can see the little brain wheels turning. You can see the wheels turning in their mind, because they're not saying and taking just because Aunt Jean said. They're not taking just because of this and that and the other. They're questioning. Inquiring minds want to know. And that is a sign of a healthy mind that's able to think critically and make decisions and process information independently and then come to their own conclusion. I absolutely love it. This is what we should have been creating a long time ago, but no, we want to create a stamp out Dolly meal where we just clone one person after another. We clone one thought after another. We clone one ideology after another. We clone one theological philosophy after another. Baby, these children are thinking and using their brains, and for that, I gotta give them some. Use your brain. Please. I feel the begging spirit of James Brown. Please use your brain. These kids ain't having it. So, as we look at this article that came out while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, which is not partisan, by the way. So I'm not getting into party politics, but I'm identifying on both sides, including the Republican and the Democratic side. And they do give the breakdown and the demographics of that. But young folks are basically saying, we ain't buying what y'all been selling all these years, and it's a bunch of crock. And as much as we hear that democracy is an experiment, that we chose democracy as an experiment of the country when we went this route, the young folks are saying it looks like this experiment has failed or is failing. Definitely for black and brown bodies, something's got to give. The good thing about this is when they ask why. I love that, Stacy. Now we can say Google it. We can, and they know how to Google it, Stacy. You're not asking them to do something they don't know how to do. Because baby, my nephew and SK8843. You can correct me if I'm not right. I think he's in first grade, but he's reading already at the third and fourth grade level. That joker reads. I sat down with him and I was reading, and baby, it was so funny because I didn't have my glasses on and I didn't see a word clearly, and I misspoke the word, and he looked at me like, Aunt Jean, and he corrected me on the word. I loved it, loved every minute. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Jameis. You know, I did, and I'm just glazing over it. Think I'm gonna say anything, and he's reading along with me, and it was a big word too. I'm thinking he's just gonna, glaze along with me because I really couldn't see the word clearly. Baby, he called me for filth right there on the spot. He said, Aunt Jean, he said that word is, and pronounced the word clearly and correctly. These are the children that we're raising in this technological age, and they're not playing with us. So, for all of y'all that, and I'm not hating on anybody, thank you for the biddies. For all of y'all that maybe had some, Monica, I appreciate that. For all of y'all that may have had some reading challenges or whatever, and I'm not hating on you, these kids are coming out reading. These kids are coming out knowing how to operate this technology. These kids are coming out knowing how to process and how to really think things through and asking questions. And this is one thing, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off of this topic, but I'm so happy about this article that came out from Harvard Institute in NPR today. I am so happy that these young people are using their brain and they're on another trajectory. And this is the thing, if you all remember, y'all remember how many times we got in trouble for asking why? 'Cause I said so. What is 'cause I said so? All I did was ask why. And then you come unhinged because I asked why. You get upset, oh God forbid, in the church arena because I asked why. You get upset when I challenge a teaching in the scripture because I asked why. That is a good indicator that you are under control and you are in a place of oppression. If you cannot ask the question why, something is wrong. If your children cannot ask you why, now y'all know I'm saying, I'm really saying something here, and I'm not talking about in the areas of because I'm trying to get away with something. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Just generally asking why. If you are running that dictatorial household where your kids can't ask you why, get ready for them to run away from you as soon as they can. Them days are over. These children want to know, and they're inquiring minds, and they're gonna ask you why. So if you from that old school, 'cause I said so, you in the wrong space, in the wrong place right about now. 'Cause these kids want information. They want the 411 and they want the deets, and they want the deets accurate and correct. So you might as well get ready. Your granddaughter, which is 4, told me that she needs an iPad that has a bigger screen because the Kindle screen is too small for her to see. Now, truck driver, I'm gonna tell you what. And this is true, and y'all gonna, some of y'all, I know we're old school. I know we're old school because we pushing on that 6-0. But at the end of the day, she needs an easy bake oven. At the end of the day, there is a reality, and this is an article that I read, and it talks about the disparity between children that have needs and those that have access. And there is a reality that because much of that technology is going to be used later on, much of that is going to be used later on as they grow and go in life. Many that don't have access to some of this technology, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke here. I'm just talking it through. Many of the children that don't have access to that technology are going to be behind. And so, because this is what you have going in the classroom, maybe they're not coming in with Big Chief notepads no more. They're not coming in with the narrow lined and big line notebook paper. Everything they do is on technology. If your child does not have the current technology that has some of the advanced type functionality, your child is going to be behind. And unfortunately, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but it's a reality that when you start talking about, when I went into the financial arena, number one, there were not, I was the only black female and one of few black people, period, at the number one. I won't give them any publicity and advertisement on today. But listen, when I got in there, everything that they required had to be done by Apple products. Everything. There was nothing, listen, it wasn't no matter of, can I get my Android to do this? Everything that they operated from an Apple product and operated at high functionality. So if you didn't know how to operate that item with high functionality, you had to learn that first before you could really manage and operate many of your accounts. You had to get the technology and then you had to learn it. So that's just the world in which we live. And so, yeah, hey, I don't know what to say about that. Yes, Tall Pumps, we want them to be thinkers and and then we get mad when they ask, and yeah, they gotta take several seats, because at the end of the day, listen, these babies, we want them to know, we want them to have clarity, we want them to have understanding, we want them to be sharp, we want them to be in the mix with everybody else. So at the end of the day, we need to let them ask questions, and some of us are gonna have to get up and we're gonna have to cough up some money to help our children be competitive in the learning market, and we're gonna have to get them some tools that are today's tools. These kids are the National Enquirer. You better ask somebody, Mel, because inquiring minds want to know. So there you have it. Truth, they will be lost in the classroom if they cannot handle the tech. And Jonna, you can testify to this as a fact, because you got it all day long with your 3 children in school. And that's the life in which we live. They not pulling out Big Chief, y'all. Big Chief is gone. Big Chief is gone. So is some of their handwriting skills, but Big Chief, Big Chief is gone. They gonna tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat on that keyboard. That's what they need to know. ASFD, let's see, ASFDJKL semicolon. They gonna need to know the keyboard. And so at the end of the day, you better get that technology together. You better get that technology together because it's going to be critical in your child's life. Now, that I wanted to bring up, and thank you for bringing in the point of your granddaughter asking for upgraded technology. Baby, the handwriting ain't it, Jonna. Now, you sacrifice one thing for the other, because while they got the technology and they know how to type it out, baby, that handwriting, Lord Jesus. I need a decipher. I need a cipher, and I need an interpretation of tongues on that paper, because that handwriting is straight from the pit of hell. It came straight from Hades. So listen, I'm telling you, it's a lot going on up in this piece. Now, I wanted to share that story because, again, it's happening. Now, this story right here, but baby, that handwriting. You're teaching yours to read cursive because they struggle with it. You know, and now listen, I know some folks, Jonna, from your generation that can't write in cursive, and that's the truth. They can't write in cursive, they can't read in cursive. So I think we may have lost that art long before technology. And at the end of the day, having been contracted into the school system for a period of time, baby, you couldn't read those children's handwriting. So I understand why they went to the type the paper out, because you're going to spend 5 hours trying to decipher and determine what in the world was on that paper. Because I don't know. I don't understand one thought, one lick of what you said, because I can't read it. Your handwriting is horrible, and they sure can't do cursive. So I'm glad that you're teaching that, so that it doesn't become just a lost art. Michelle Browno, that's my quiet storm. She's in the room. I love you, sis. You know, Stacy, I don't know if they're teaching cursive or not. I don't believe that they are, and I'm going to say that simply from the standpoint of almost everything they do now is relevant to or relegated to the keyboard and typing it out. So I don't know. Jonna maybe can stop. They stopped teaching it in school where you are, Kai Chick. Okay. So you might as well get ready. They have no concept of signature. None, Jonna, none. But you know what? A lot of people, and I've started doing this myself, you know, the doctor's signature that can't be read but can't be duplicated. I've started doing it myself because, you know, I started thinking about that thing and had a situation. Come on, you got your cup and your cursive writing. Come through, KB Browns. It's good to see you this morning. I'm so glad you're here. You think cursive is going to be your new secret written? Write it in cursive and nobody can read it. You know, but at some point in time, I don't know if that's not going to happen, Stacy, real time. If we're going to get to a point where so few children that have now become adults cannot read cursive, that whenever we want to say something in secrecy, we just start writing in cursive and they have no clue what we just said. And let me say this, my father had the most beautiful handwriting, and he came from that generation where they worked with you. And a lot of times they talk about how women's handwriting would be so beautiful, but men's handwriting was so horrible. My father's handwriting was gorgeous. It was immaculate. And so, you know, that from the day when handwriting mattered. Nowadays, listen, they could care less. Tall pumps, no, they're not. They took it out regular. Okay, I got you. So yours had a couple of weeks of cursive, and that was it. So it looks like we are about to come now. Some of us at our age can't write. You're right, truck driver, and that's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of handwriting that was horrible. I'm talking about males and females. Horrible. Everybody in my family could write and had beautiful handwriting, and we expressed. Did y'all come and remember the days for those of us that your handwriting had to have something special to it? It had to have some kind of flair when you did that cursive. You had to have some extra loops here, some extra something there to make it look almost like you're doing a script. And you just wanted to be so flowing and so beautiful. And it also was a way of you expressing your personality and something a little different about yourself. All of that was spoken through your handwriting. Well, babies, those days are over. Those days are over because your handwriting. But the kids can code. Now, you're right about that, Monica. The kids can code. They will 100-100-1100 you to death. And you're right about that. They can code, and I can look at code, and that's just as Greek to me as my cursive writing is to them. So then at the end of the day, Monica, that raises the question, which of it is most important for them to learn? Because they're in a technological age. It's more important now, even though I'd like for them to retain the skill, me personally, I'm not for throwing stuff away because you're moving on to something else. I want you to retain all of it, in my opinion. I feel like you're stronger for it. Children that come from a household where they speak another language and then they throw the language away, I'm like, learn both languages. Learn the language of your parentage as well as English, but don't throw your language away. That's just me. I'm not that person that's like, throw this away and let's migrate towards this. So, but at this point in time, it's so much more critical for them to be able to code, I guess, than it is for them to be able to write in cursive, because people ain't writing on pen and paper, know how, very little. So, they just started reteaching this in your school, in the Shawnee Mission School District. Okay, Michelle, I think there's something, Michelle, that has to say, we can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, in my thinking. So the school systems have to, in my thinking, come to a point of finding a happy medium to bridge these two together. And that's my opinion. It may not be the case, but I just think it's stronger for the child to be able to code as well as write in cursive rather than either or, in my opinion. Good. It's so good to see you, KB Browns. So learn all of it, Monica. That's the way I feel about it. Learn all of it. Don't throw anything away. I wish that whatever the native language of my ancestry was, I wish I could still speak it. Because I feel like that's an extra tool in the tool bag. And get all the tools that you can. DJ, I see you. DJ, let me see who that is. DJ James Dark Knight, hey, come on in the room. Come on in the room. It's so good to have you. When I see that DJ, follow him. Please, please, please follow him and let him bless your life. Thank you. Come on in the Lion's Den, and you are so welcome. Cassandra, variety is the spice of life. And why we get so singly focused. We talk about back in the day, you don't even really hear about it anymore. The idea of a one-track mind. And yet and still, we've pumped out this one-track mind thinking. Everything has to be one track. We can't have 2 tracks, 3 tracks. We can't have multi-tracks. We got a one-track mind. I think it starts very heavily, and y'all may be mad at me on this, but I feel like a lot of that religion, and this is what I'm writing my dissertation on. Religion has played such a dominant role in controlling the people. And even as we've almost come into a one-track mind thinking in theology, it's like, listen, it's so much out there, but y'all want to make everybody think the same way, believe the same way, interpret the same way, and then nobody's really stopping to do an analysis of what it is that you all are thinking and believing in this one-track mind mode. Nobody's really stopped to see, is it hurtful? Is it helpful? Is it healthy? Is it detrimental? We just get in that one track mind mode and we just barrel and plow straight ahead. And that's how we've lost our ability to create critical thinkers in some of these generations. But these young folk ain't having it. These young folk are like, you better let me out the box. I'm not going to be in your one track mind mode. My mind and my tracks go everywhere. And so I feel like as we develop, as we go forward, I feel like we're going to be able to re-expand our thinking, re-expand our knowledge, re-expand how we look at things and come away from this one track. So with that, yes, teach it all, learn it all, flow in all of it, because it's going to help. It's going to really make a difference. Yeah, I believe I'm onto something big, Cassandra, because even if we look at the very root, get all the way down to the core of the separation and the insanity that's going on in the world right now in this, well, I'll say even in this country, but really I could say the world, because as you go from country to country, you always get down to the root of religion that somewhere, somehow, it starts creating all of these mindsets, and you get all of these, you almost like automatons, everybody, just like robots. Y'all just get in here and believe what we said, regurgitate what we said, repeat what we said, sing what we said, preach what we said, talk what we said, and then go out there into the world and do what we said. It's like it's like robots. It's robotical and controlling in its very core and nature. And it's like, no, that's not who I'm created to be. I got a brain. Yes, some of us out here singing If I Only Had a Brain, but I got a brain and I plan to use it. And you're not going to run me through this one track mind thinking. And I always appreciate people that take that road and that mindset, that you're not going to just tell me anything and make me regurgitate what you said. I'm not having it. So there you have it. So you had your nurse listening to the chat. That's funny, Nancy. So how will it be when the young get big? That's a good question, Monica. And that's what we got to always think about. Are we creating a generation of leaders, or are we creating another generation of enslaved people? Whether it's your mind, whether it's your gift and your talent, whether it's whatever level, we've created enslaved people, and it's time to quit. So that's all. I could keep going on that. But I'm gonna stop. Because I gotta come here for Tall Pumps so she can get back on her one-liners. Tall Pumps was the queen of one-liners the other day and had us all cracking up. Now, we knew it was coming, y'all. We knew it was coming, because they put this baby on the stand and she got to testify. And she said, listen, I got a testimony. She got on the stand with a testimony. And she said, listen, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, they abused me for years, but let me drop a few names. Let me drop a few names. Let me say a few folk that was in the lineup. Let me tell you who was on the plane. Let me tell you who was on the plane. Who was on the plane was Prince Andrew. And then Prince Andrew introduced me to Donald Trump. The plane. Mother gave it up, baby. Mother gave it up. She gave it up both ways. She gave it up. Well, you know what I'm saying. She gave it up. She said, if I'm gonna give it up then, I'm gonna give it up now. I'm gonna give it up. Let me tell you who was on the plane. Prince Andrew. And we got pictures of Prince Andrew out there on the island. Prince Andrew. Then he introduced me to Donald Trump. And listen, the names. Ooh, I told y'all yesterday, I was concerned because they kept trying to make this only be about Epstein. All the receipts, Monica, she got all the receipts. She said, I got a receipt here. You get a receipt. You get a receipt. You get a receipt. I'm giving it up. Let me tell you what happened was. She's the first of many to take the stand and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, Nancy. You might as well get your popcorn and just get you a seat, put your feet up in the lion's den, get your coffee cup out, sip on this coffee and this tea, because these ladies is getting ready to pour you some strong, no cream, no sugar, strong and black coffee. They getting ready to tell it like it T-I-Z tis. Woo! Mother got on the stand and started calling names. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So yes, Tall Pumps, oh snap, she is the human manifest. Let me drop it on you. She got invoices and manifests for they whole hind parts. Monica, she understood the assignment. You are telling the truth, Cassandra. This is comedy at its best. Tell it, mother. Listen, she came out saying, said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. She couldn't keep it to herself. What Donald Trump and Prince Andrew had done for her, she just couldn't keep it to herself. She understood the assignment, Monica. She did. She went full New Jack City on them Tall Pumps. She just laid it bare. Yes, and that's a pun intended as well. She just laid it bare. Listen, Mel. Oh, where have you been, Billy boy, Benny boy? Oh, where have you been, Billy Clinton? I have been to seek a hoe. She's a little girl at my door. She's a young thing and cannot leave her mother. Where have you been, Billy boy, Billy boy? He been to seek a hoe. That's where he been. Listen, I told y'all holders that serve hoes. They been out there, y'all. They been working overtime. Working day and night. They been working. And at the end of the day, they gonna pour some Crown with no doggone ice. Listen, I'm here for it too. Go tell it on the mountain. We singing all the songs. Can we get all the hymns in? It's Christmas season. Over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that these men love their porn. Ooh, he bought me an island. I feel all kind of lyrics coming up in my spirit. Yes, out there on Gilligan's Island, they bought him an island to go tell it on the mountains. KB Brown, you ain't right. You bet she got some condoms with DNA. Listen, these business women that are coming out today, just like Monica kept the dress. Huh? Monica kept the dress. Y'all ain't ready for me. Monica kept the dress and said, listen, don't y'all tell me about no receipts. I got a dress. I got a dress-testimony. You said not Nito Brown. Listen, she got a dress-testimony. An exhibit A in latex, well preserved. Good morning, Shelby Nicole Cosplay. Good morning, sis. We in here clowning today. This sister is a streamer and a creator. Y'all follow Shelby Nicole Cosplay because she's all that in a bag of chicks. Chips, I'm so glad you in here today. No, don't be dead, Monica. Don't be dead. I feel all of this flowing out of my shondo, out of my belly. It's flowing rivers of living water about how these folk done came out here and did all of this dastardly business with these little kids. These little nasty perverts, these little nasty pedophiles out here with these little kids. So at the end of the way, listen, I went straight Nina. You bet she's gonna wear hoop earrings our next trial. Y'all better tell somebody. Listen, I'm rewriting the song. I'm rewriting it. Listen, isn't that what that man said? I write the songs that make the pervert sing. Tell it everywhere, Cassandra. Tell it everywhere. Oh, she had at least 2 pairs. She a round away girl. You listen, tall pumps. Monica 3.0. Who keeps a stained dress, KB Browns? Who does that? Monica Lewinsky. And probably some of these chicks here, because at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm saying, but in all honesty, there is something that is so egregious how they groomed and abused these little kids. I'm gonna keep saying that because these are little kids. I know in the days and times that we live, there's a whole different perspective, a tremendously different perspective. I still have to say, I don't understand grown folk that want little kids to destroy the lives of little kids. Something is seriously wrong, in my opinion. Now, there are folks that really think that pedophilia is not an issue, and for you that are out there, God bless you. But at the end of the day, spiritual thought leader and the idea of going out here and getting little kids, that is one area I don't know that I'll ever have a different perspective on that. I don't think so, because I feel like if you gonna get somebody, you get a consenting adult that's able to make up their mind and make up their decisions about what they're doing. But when y'all go out here and start tinkering and fingering and carrying on with these little kids, no. Now, this is Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you, and I'm your spiritual thought leader. So for me, no cream, no sugar. I take this coffee strong and black. And to any of the pedophiles that might be in my stream, because listen, you never know who's where, and that's the truth. I had a pedophile in my congregation that I had to deal with. And at the end of the day, I took the position that I am a mandatory reporter, and I reported the brother to the peoples. And I feel like it was my duty to do that. And his whole household was devastated by him. He had gone through everybody in that house. And this happened before they came to my congregation, was still happening after they came to my congregation. And when it was brought to my attention, I reported him. So, and I know a lot of people have varied ideas and opinions about that, because, honey, a lot of the pastors out here tinkering and tankering with the little kids. So, and he was a minister. But at the end of the day, your ministry is not with the little kids in this church. Now, you can go to somebody else's church and have the children's ministry, but you're not going to have the children's ministry over here. So, I look at that, and I'm telling the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Only the people participating in it are the ones that think it's okay. But you know what, Tall Pumps, this is what I'll say to that, because I know of somebody that had pedophilia in the family. And even though now these were not individuals that were being preyed upon, I'll use those words, allegedly, they say that they were not being preyed upon, but they felt like, because it's a close family member, that wink, turn your head the other direction and look. So it's like not necessarily participating directly in it, but indirectly, with it going on in the family system. Ain't nobody said a word about an individual out here with underage children. And it's just like nobody says anything. So I don't know. It's not just the people that are participating in it directly, but some of the people that are around those individuals seemingly feel like it's okay. So I just don't get it. 45 was little, too cozy on the pics with his daughter. Oh, KB Browns, listen. Sir, you ain't said nothing but a word, because I've said all day long, I don't know why he's got a wife, because his daughter is his chick, in my opinion. And so at the end of the day, all of that behavior that he had with his daughter, to me, was completely inappropriate. And in my mind, I have to wonder and think what all went on in that house, because daughter Trump acts like Mrs. Trump, and I just think it's egregious. And ain't nobody out there in the public that has said too much of anything about that. But all day long, that relationship looks off. I see you with the could it be, Tall Pumps, and so I'm gonna give it to you, because in my opinion, I'm with you on that. Could it be? The devil. Baby, in my opinion, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. So, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna speak my piece. Everybody has a different opinion. I respect your opinion. I value your opinion. At the end of the day, I feel like individuals, male and female, that go out here and prey on little kids, you are wrong. And so that's going to be, I believe, my position till I take my last breath. So, it's really something. It's really something. You best believe they all got some evidence, because Monica Lewinsky was teaching them from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Well, she taught them how to do it. And I feel like this, Nancy, if I had been on the plane, and I looked over and saw Prince Andrew and then looked around and saw Donald Trump, something in my shondo would have said, girl, you better leave here with some evidence. With the evidence of speaking in condoms. So, at the end of the day, I see you, Monica. This is how we do it over here. And let me unshade, because I don't just throw shade, I shed life. At the end of the day, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because we tells it like it T-I-Z-tis. Good morning, Mama Barnes. So good to see you in the Lion's Den. Come on in here. This is the mother, the church mother of Twitch, and we're so glad to have you. So glad to have you on this fine day. Come on in and take your seat. I know, Nancy, it makes you want to say a whole bunch of things, and I'm with you, Cassandra. It's a devilish sickness, but there's a whole lot of people that have it. It's a whole lot of people that have it, and I've seen it. I've seen it in full manifestation. And let me say this once more and again for everybody, and I don't care about y'all being offended. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I've seen it everywhere, but one of the greatest places you can see it, if you sure enough want to see it, go to church, and you can find these folk that are fondling with your little kids. And it's egregious, and it's just a shame. But I'm telling you, church is the prime spot to find pedophiles that go through these kids. And don't y'all start talking about the Catholics. No, I ain't talking about the Catholics. I'm talking about the Baptists. I'm talking about the AME. I'm talking about the Church of God in Christ. I'm talking about, listen, whatever you want to put in there denominational wise, I'm talking about all of them. These folk out here fingering and fondling with these little kids and having relationships with folks that are not developed in their mind and their emotions and their thoughts. They going out here getting these kids, and baby, thank you, Shelly Thunder, for hosting the stream. They coming out here and they getting these little kids. Y'all might as well stop playing games. Stop lying to yourself. Because listen, listen, everything ain't holy. A whole lot of this is hoary. It ain't holy, it's hoary. It's a whole lot of hoary stuff going on out here in these churches. So I want y'all to be, y'all want, Trump nasty, but listen, there's a whole lot of other folk nasty too. It's happening in all the denominations, Shelly Thunder. It's happening in all the denominations. And yes, it's the prime spot, Tall Pumps. And this is the thing that we really need to start identifying. And I'm going to say particularly, y'all want to point the finger at the Catholics and talking about, what they were doing to the altar boys and the little kids. Listen, they doing it in your church too. Because, honey, the pastor done got a whole bunch of these little girls. I was looking so sadly at this young girl that was groomed by the pastor, and she was on the praise team. And she was one of those that was coming to church. Thank you, Mish Mish. She is a streamer, y'all. Mish Mish 8 just came in. Thank you for hosting the stream, and good morning to you. It's hoary. That's what I said, Disco Dare. It wasn't holy, it was hoary. So, and hoariness, not holiness, but hoariness is going on. So I want us to be very, very clear on this. Hoary, yes. So, and you got the correct spelling. I know I'm right. I know I'm right, Nancy, because I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I've observed it. It's all over the place, and we got to pay attention. And this is what I'm saying, Cassandra. I watched, and it was just a heart-wrenching video of this young lady that as she was giving her testimony and finally came forward and brought charges against this man. And he had a mega church. Don't y'all fool yourself. Y'all, somehow or another, you think just because the church is full and everybody's going there that these people are right and righteous. Baby, he had a mega church, but he had mega penis. He had mega pee-wee. He had mega, yes, he was everywhere. He was like, he thought he was like God. He was here, there, and everywhere. It was a hoary church. It was a hoary church. Tongue talking, hand cut. Well, anyway, and at the end of the day, I'm looking. It's holiness. It's holiness that's hell, not holiness or hell. It's holiness that's hell. So at the end of the day, I know I've seen, and it's not just the girls, tall pumps. And listen, you better say that because I see more of the boys. Now y'all done got me over in some territory. I wasn't trying to come here, but I'm here. This is Yes You O Cubed one-on-one, just me and you. And you know how I do it over here. We take our coffee with no cream, no sugar. I take this coffee strong and black because we tell it like it T-I-Z-tis. So at the end of the day, please let it be known, tall pumps, a lot of these young men, a lot of these beautiful princes are out here being accosted by holiness from the church. So I want us to have a clarity in understanding it's not just when we talk about sexual abuse that's going on and the amount, the tremendous amount of it that goes on from the church walls. We got to understand we're not just talking about females that are being accosted and victimized. Our young baby men are as well. And our young princes, you know, at the end of the day, it ain't just the men doing the fondling. Now, Jonna CPW, you said a mouthful right there. Because listen, some of these women's, some of the same ones that Andrew called, women's. Some of these women's out here are laying low and spreading it wide. So at the end of the day, they want that young blood. They want that young buck. They want that young woman. So I want us to not have this glazed over idea that this is not happening in the church, because I'm here to tell you the church is one of the prime places. Prime. Do you understand do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I said prime. The church is one of the prime places for the hookup. And don't think, now I talked about the mega church, but listen, sometimes the church with just two or three are gathered together, and two or three are gathered together in holiness. So I want y'all to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because listen, I'm going to say it once and I'm going to say it twice. I'm going to say it 3 times in the name of Jesus Christ for all of y'all still saying that little tired welcome. I want y'all to know that at the end of the day, these folk that are out here operating in pedophilia, these pedophiles that are out here getting these little kids, I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention. So I just can't say it enough, truck driver. I just can't. I got to talk about it because this is real stuff. This is reality. And while I'm going to say it again, we want to look at Ghislaine Maxwell. We want to look at the Catholic Church. We want to look everywhere but right here in our own house, because it's a whole lot of pedophilia that goes on in our ranks. And we got to stop playing like it doesn't. This is real stuff. This is real stuff. So you wonder why the boy is twitching and switching in the church. So, you know, at the end of the day, many of them have been groomed. Some of them have an orientation. This is just the way they've felt and the way they've been and experienced themselves all their lives. Everybody in the LGBTQ community has not been tinkered and fondled and mishandled. Some have actually, this is the way I operate. This is what I felt. I saw a video of a young boy named Noah. His mama said Noah came here like that. And that's a reality. Noah came here like that. And I watched that little boy. That little boy gave me life, honey. He sashayed, he walked, and he, at the age of, I want to say he was 3 or 4, he took his mama's scarf and wrapped himself around and made him an outfit. That baby was sharp. I said, now listen. So that's not everybody. But there are people that have been groomed, tall pumps. There are people that have been groomed. And so we got to pay attention. So you listen, I'm telling you, there are the need for us to really pay attention. And while we calling out Ghislaine Maxwell, some of these folk are grooming in tandem What do you mean spiritual thought leader? It ain't just one. The pastor ain't out there by himself. And I'm just using pastor as an example, but you could, anybody. The pastor ain't just out there by himself. He's got folk in the church. She's got folk there in the church helping her to snatch people and groom them. I know what I'm talking about, and I ain't lying. I'm telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So I'm looking. Listen, it's everywhere, but I tell you what, the church is rampant. Disco Darren, I hear you. Listen, I'm telling you, Cassandra, I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. I see you, Monica. No cream, no sugar. We taking this coffee strong and black, because I'm telling it like it tis. We might as well stop looking and talking about Maxwell and Epstein when we've been having these same behaviors going on in the church. And this is the thing I want us to see. And listen, folk get mad at me when I say this at church. Y'all want to talk about the hoe, you want to talk about the prostitute, but some of y'all doing the same thing. And I say to you, at least the hoe and the prostitute's getting paid for it. Now see, y'all ain't ready for me. I'm gonna say it again. Y'all talk about the hoe and the prostitute that's out there selling her body. But I'm gonna say once more and again, good morning, Barbara Hardy. Come on in the house. You caught me on a bad one here. You caught me on a bad one because I'm cutting up. You talk about the hoe and you talk about the prostitute on the street and you look down your nose at them. But I'm saying to you, yes, you, at least they getting paid for it. Cause you ain't getting nothing but you's a hoe. Y'all ain't ready for me. And I'm talking about in the church and on the streets. Y'all out here giving it up and ain't getting nothing for it. So you might as well stop talking about the hoe and the prostitute and looking down your nose. Y'all better get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out, because y'all know how I do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because spiritual thought leaders gonna tell it like a tis. And I love you. Y'all may not love me after the day. Listen, I'm telling the truth, Barbara, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Listen, you better ask somebody. Aguna Badger, come on in the room. It's good to see you, my friend. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking and I'm saying, it's freedom time, Cassandra. It's freedom time, because the truth will make us free. So I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, at the end of the day, while we have all of these attitudes, while we have all of these ideas, and I operate in a judgment-free zone. Everybody operate the way that you operate. But at the end of the day, nobody has the opportunity, the right, or the place to look down your nose at anybody else about anything for real. So at the end of the facts are not allowed to be exposed in today's society. You better talk, King Coogee. But we gonna tell the truth up in the lion's den, because we got the right division and make it plain. And the only way you gonna make it plain is to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the truth will come out. There's another level to the sickness in the church, because that's where folks are supposed to be safe. You're giving away the goods for an offering and a title, and it ain't even good. Listen, a lot of folk ain't even getting that, Nancy. They just getting used. A good hoe perfects her craft. You just saying. I hear you. You had a pastor that got fighting mad at me because you called him out on what he was doing, because he was trying to tell me that I was doing wrong when he was doing the same thing that... He was doing the same thing. Listen, you going in one door and he's going in the next door, right next door to you. Listen, I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen it. Listen, one of my favorite facial expressions, let me get it out, that I'll never forget was when I was going to visit somebody and the pastor was catting out of the back door of somebody's house and looked up and saw me. It wasn't my pastor. It was somebody else's pastor, and a big church pastor. And so the sad thing about it, my neighbor says to me, "Oh, child, that been going on for so long, it ain't funny." So at the end of the day, and even that, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't ever want to be comfortable with inappropriate behavior. Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? I don't ever want to be comfortable with inappropriate behavior, particularly when it comes to our children. And we got to pay attention, y'all. We got to pay attention. So at the end of the day, the truth, Disco Darren, the truth will come out. Y'all know Conrad, that man that killed Michael Jackson and got up on the stand talking about the truth will come out. Well, it did, and he went to jail. The truth will come out. Ain't no freedom in a lie. Ain't no freedom in a lie. The only way you're gonna be free, Nancy, is speaking the truth. Speaking the truth. That's the only way you're gonna be free. So you said the pastor at your old church would silence the woman and let the musicians run amok. I've seen that too, Tall Pumps. I've seen that too. But at the end of the day, it's a new day. It's happening. And this is the thing that I love about it, because the truth is coming out. We're not hiding. We're no longer covert in these behaviors and these activities and these actions. Baby, just put it on blast and let's move on. Go ahead and repent. Go ahead and move on. Turn and then move around. But we're not coddling this any longer. We're not coddling pedophiles. We're not coddling hoes in a hoary church. We're not doing that. We're someplace else. It's a different time and it's a different season. So let's just move along and let's make this thing happen. But again, I want to challenge us as we're looking at this story about Miss Maxwell and the pedophilia ring that she was operating. Don't dismiss that we got folks operating in pedophile rings right here in our own backyard. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I knew that was gonna get a little conversation. But at the end of the day, honey, they talking, honey, they chirping. They telling the facts. They giving the deets, y'all. They coming out with it. And I love it. I'm gonna close out with this one. I got some more out there. There's a story in there, anybody that's interested in science, where they're saying that they feel like they have discovered through their research that the sun actually spewed much of the water, or the elements that made much of the water on planet Earth, that came from the sun. I thought that was an interesting read. Anybody that's into science and you enjoy reading that kind of stuff, I'm gonna invite you to go out there and read that article about how they believe the sun sprayed the earth with water, and that's how the earth ended up being 2/3 water. But go out there and read it if you have an interest. I'm not going to talk on that. I'm gonna close out with this last story, that they are now saying that the job rate is 4.4 million workers that are leaving the job market. I don't feel badly about that. I'm looking and I'm saying, I see. They say it's the pandemic as a part of the issue, but they're also looking at the fact that people are quitting and they're going, either number one, somebody's going to pay them a better wage, but they're also saying people are deciding that they want to work for themselves. And I really wanted to stop with that on today, because I feel like as we look at that, there is a mass exodus from the job market, because people are starting to say, I'm tired of being a part of a system that is really just a glorified version of a slave market. And I know you guys can feel a lot of different ways about that, but I have to look at, as we've seen during the pandemic, while Main Street America, as they call it, Main Street America has continued to see the wealthy of this country and abroad make money hand over fist even during the pandemic, while many of them are struggling just to live and survive. So the clarity that brought, that's why I said it's happening. And I wanted to close with this because it's happening. Yes, Tall Pumps, the pandemic has really made us realize what our worth is and what's important for our sanity. And I love the way you said that, Tall Pumps. The pandemic has really made us realize what our worth is and what is important for our sanity. Because listen, first and foremost, we had the stark realization that we could be here today and gone tomorrow. We could catch this little virus of a bug, and the next thing you know, 3 days later, 5 days later, gone. We realize that again, as we're out here struggling to make ends meet, we're out here trying to make things happen, and the millionaires and the billionaires are making money hand over fist. We begin to realize our value because they're not making money hand over fist because they're out there working. They're not out there in the labor force. Many of them don't even know the companies, do they even stop by the company? Do they have any idea? At the end of the day, do we have any idea of what's going on in my company unless somebody brings it to my attention? I deal with the board, I deal with the numbers on profits, but as far as the people, those people mean nothing to me. We started waking up to that reality, and we started collectively saying, let me get it. This is what this is exactly what we said. No. We ain't having it. And I think that as we understand our worth and as we understand our value, as we begin to bind together and bond together and build together, we're going to create another reality. And I'm going to say this again for our Black dollars, especially. We are one of the greatest, if not the greatest purchasing power in this country, Black dollars. But those Black dollars are not going to Black businesses. Those Black dollars are not going to Black communities. Those Black dollars are going to support these people at the top, at the 1% that are just grifting us, and they're grifters and pillaging our community, pillaging our resources, pillaging our creativity. They're just coming in and they're just robbing and raping us, if you will, of all of the wealth and the worth that we have, and then kick us to the curb and say, figure out how you're gonna pay your bills. And so at the end of the day, I feel like we're coming to a point where we're waking up to that and we're saying no. And as we look at the statistics, they are talking about how we're looking at these states that are staggering numbers of folks that are just saying no. And at the end of the day, people are walking away and doing better. Let me emphasize that again. Good morning, Oso. Good morning, Crazy Berrytown. Y'all come on in here. I'm so glad you made it. Just anytime that I see you, sis, it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate you. Listen, and Oso, listen, Crazy Berrytown is a streamer. If you're not following her, please get out there and follow her. Please, 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 please. 4.4 million people walking off the job and saying, I'm done with you. That is significant, you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that was in September. Let me put that in. That was in September. We're not talking about over the long haul. Moni 1677, come on in here. So good to see you. Love you, sis. Come on and have a seat. Now, we're talking about just in September alone. I love these statistics because they're calling this season now, catch this, the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation. People are resigning these jobs. Listen, you ain't got to get rid of me. I'll resign because I'm going to do better. I'm going to find better. I'm going to be better than working on your slavery plantation meal. And I'm going to enjoy my life and I'm going to live it while I'm alive. Yes, they're doing better, Tall Pumps, and addressing our mental health in a real way. And yeah, that stress on that job was killing folk. Not just the pandemic, pandemic that we're talking about as far as COVID-19 and all of its variants, stress was killing us as a pandemic worse than anything else was. So I'm loving this. Listen, they saying F the job, Mike City. I'm out. And so I'm encouraging those of you that are launching out. Listen, handle your jelly, honey. Go, do your thing. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Listen, make it happen. Don't apologize. Do it unapologetically. Do your thing. And for those that are in the communities, let us come with all the support, with all the encouragement, with all the resources. And listen, resources may not necessarily be money out of your pocket. Resources may be connecting somebody to a network somewhere, networking and to a resource somewhere that they can really benefit from, and that we can find this coming together and as we get into this whole trend of supporting one another, where we can all build and build together, so that, listen, I'm gonna push you, you're gonna push me, we're gonna push one another, and we're gonna make this thing happen. I feel like this is, I see you, Darren. You 20 years at Ford Motor Company, and you're seriously concerned in retiring and going back to get your master's degree. Come through, Disco Darren. I'm not mad, because listen, and we need folk. While we at it, I think that was another story. I just chose not to do it, and we got kind of hung up in some other stories, but I think it's out there. The number of people, here we go. Peter DeFazio is the 19th Democrat to say he's leaving the House. So we got 19 seats, and I'm not saying you're going to be Democrat, but I'm saying just 19 seats in the Democratic Party. I don't know how many in the Republican Party, because I'm not trying to tell you what party to be. If you're going to be right, I support you. Listen, when you talk about 19 seats in just one election in just one party that's up, this man is like, I'm out. And I feel like some of these old folks should have been gone a long time ago. I'm gonna just tell it like it is, tell the truth, shame the devil. But if they're going out, we need somebody to come in, Disco Darren. I'm not mad at you. You halfway into getting your master's degree, chick, come through. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all got me about to shout up in here. This is what we're talking about while we're talking about the Great Resignation. Now, that's a real concern for the 1% when they see the labor force or the slavery mill that they've had open access to all this time with no accountability. They see these folks saying, take this job and shove it. I'm not working here no more. They see folk walking out the door. And so they're concerned about this workforce because they've been getting all of this labor. And you might as well say it's free labor, because listen, at the end of the day, what they're paying you is just a drop in the bucket. It's just pittance. It's just pennies on the dollar for what they're actually making. So at the end of the day, as people are waking up and saying, enough of this, enough is enough, and too much is too much. You know, enough is enough, and too much is too much. So as people are waking up, and yes, Disco Darren, I love it. I'm going to appreciate you. I'm going to applaud you. I'm going to push you. If you decide that's the direction that you want to go, you got my full support. And not like I'm all that in a bag of chips, but if we can get enough voters, if we can get enough individuals, if we can get enough folk that will support you in your endeavor. And yes, I know I'm in a whole nother area of the country. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty about the internet. The internet knows no boundaries. I can still do what I can for you in the area where you are, from where I am, and encouraging people. Listen, we got a candidate that we need y'all to consider and vote into this office, because we need better. We need more than we've been getting all of this time, all of this mess that we've been having to deal with. Vote Disco Darren. Vote him in, y'all. Vote him in. And whatever it is, thank you for sharing that in the stream. Whatever it is, we're supporting one another because we're in the Great Resignation. We're resigning from being in the slavery mill, and we're enlisting, and we are saying, let me join the crew that said it's happening. We're the ing crowd. We're the ing crowd, not the in crowd, but the ing, the ing crowd, where it's happening that we're ready to turn this narrative around. We're ready to have a paradigm shift. We're ready to make this thing happen and not just keep talking. Listen, money is cheap. Talk is cheap. It takes money to buy land. That's what the old folks used to tell me. Talk is cheap. It takes money to buy land. So I feel like we're in the phase right now during the Great Resignation, as they've suddenly called it. Thank God for the Great Resignation, because listen, now we're ready and we have determined. We talked about it on yesterday. You got to have that commitment. You got to have that drive. You got to have that made up mind. I am successful. I am. I want you to get that mindset. I am a dreamer, but this dream shall come to pass. It's not just a dream, but it's going to materialize. It's going to actualize. I have a poem. I love to write poetry. One of the poems I wrote was called The Actualization of My Own Potentiality. Now that's a whole lot of words, a whole lot of big words to say something very simply, but I need you to actualize your own potentiality. I need you to be the actualization of your own potentiality. Don't just have potential, but actualize that potential. I want you to know that you can. I want you to know that you have the ability. I want you to know you have the power. You have the genius. You have the creativity. And if anything else can come from the lion's den, I hope that you get the support. I need you to wake up during this time of the Great Resignation. And I need you to work your jelly. Work your jelly. And as we do this together, y'all, the Great Resignation is unveiling our own purchasing power. And thank you, Nancy, because I'm going to say it once more and again. I'm going to say it once more and again. We have the most powerful purchasing power. Let's resign from the system and let's repurpose our own money. Let's repurpose our own money. Let's repurpose it and redirect it. Let's repurpose. And listen, whether Disco Darren goes through with his vision and potential or not of an idea, listen, let's support it. Let's push it. Let's do everything we can. Because at the end of the day, listen, Crazy Berry Town. I love her Zumba. Y'all go out there and get your body right. But she also has elderberry to help your immune system to be healthy and whole. Go out there and support her elderberry. Get out there, and I mean it's tasty too. Get out there and get it. Support it. Listen, anybody else that's in it, come on, Mike City, Shelby Nicole Cosplay. Go out here and support these folk that are in the lion's den, because baby, they already got it. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They already got it. Let's support, let's get behind, let's undergird. And the Great Resignation that we see happening out here, baby, it's our time to shine. It's our time to reveal. It's our time to manifest. It's Revelations. It's Revelations 20 and 21. It's Revelations 20 and 22. It's time to reveal this thing. Am I talking to anybody? It's time for us to roar, because this pride, this PRIDE, this pride of lions is relentless, and you're gonna hear us roar. Am I talking to anybody in here? Baby, work your jelly. Work your jelly. Work it, work it, work it, work it. Work your jelly. This pride, we're relentless. You're gonna hear us roar. So during the time of the Great Resignation, y'all, look at what you got. Moses, what's in your hand? I don't have anything but this rod. Baby, that rod did some of everything. That rod in his hand worked miracles. And I'm telling you to look inside yourself, and I'm asking you, what you got? What you got? KB Browns, what you got? Kai Chick, what you got? Moni, what you got? Sincerely, what you got? Crazy Berry Town, what you got? And I promise you, if you look at what you got in your hands, Nancy, you can work miracles with it. During the time of the great resignation, come through. Come through. Do your thing. Mike City, what you got? You can work miracles with what you got in your hand. Truck driver, what you got? What you have. Not what you got to go out and get. What you have right now in your hand, Moses, is enough to deliver the people. Am I talking to anybody? What you have in your hand right now is enough to set the people free from bondage. What you have in your hands right now is enough to take them onto the promised land. Not only you, but the people around you, your people, all of y'all can get to the promised land. There's enough for everybody to eat. Am I talking to anybody? There's enough for everybody to eat up in this piece. Ain't nobody got to go hungry. There's enough for everybody. We're not competitors. I'm not competing against you. You're not competing against me. We're co-laborers and co-workers and co-CEOs and co-winners. Come through. Put the positivity to that thing. We're co-owners. Am I talking to anybody? We're co-leaders. We manifest together. Ain't nobody fighting nobody else up in here. Come on and shout, Moni. Come on and shout. Uh-oh, you ain't said nothing but a word. That's the way we gonna go. Come through. There's enough for everybody to eat, Mike City. There's enough for everybody to eat. And you better know it. You better know it. This is the time and this is the season and we are co-millionaire, girl. Listen, don't play with me. Don't play. No. Y'all know you don't play with listen. Cause listen, I got something for you, Moni. You say you feel like bucking and you calling out co-millionaires. Say it. You better ask somebody. That's who we are. That T'Challa, show them who you are. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, y'all, at the end of the day, that's the way we live. That's the way we operate. That's who we are. Come on, Mama Barnes. That's who we are. Now, this is something, and this blessed my whole life. I got you that little quick one in there for you. This blessed my life. There is a saying that says, walk through the door like your ancestors opened it for you. I'm gonna say it once more and again. Walk through the door like your ancestors opened it for you. And one more time for the Holy Ghost, for those of y'all that just got to have it 3 times. Walk through your door like your ancestors opened it for you. And baby, if your ancestors opened it for you, you walking in with your head up tall. You walking in with confidence. You walking in like I own the place, because you do. Because the ancestors, they envisioned you in this space and they've now welcomed you into the place. Walk through that door like your ancestors opened it for you. And don't be scared. Don't be shamed. Don't be fearful. Don't come in unbelieving. Come in with confidence. So that's the way we roll up here in the Lion's Den, y'all. That's the way we roll over here. I hope that something that I've said today has been a blessing to you. Disco Darren, I got to tell you, I'm so glad to know that. Thank you for sharing that. I had no idea that that was an aspiration. But listen, I fully support you. I fully encourage you on your journey. And whatever I can do and whatever we can do in the Lion's Den, we in there. Sincerely, Mr. Wonderful, thank you for coming on in here, and I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den. I'm so sorry I didn't see you earlier, but welcome to the Lion's Den, and please know that you are welcome in this space and in this place. Moni, come on and do your shout, because listen, this is it right now. The great resignation that they're seeing is the great liberation for us. We are free and we are free indeed. So relentless, not senseless, roaring and soaring. Lions are woke and no joke, united and not divided. I'm gonna say it one more time, and that's how we're going out of here today, Cassandra. I appreciate you. We're relentless, not senseless. We're roaring and soaring. We're lions and we're woke and no joke. We're united and we are not divided. We are not divided. So there you have it. It's right here in the Lion's Den. You heard it. And we telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Oh, I feel for my
Well, I feel for my brother, and I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. And I appreciate you guys. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and it's always a blessing to come in the Lion's Den and tangle and hang with the lions. I love y'all. I really, really do. I want you to follow me because I'm out there. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more. I want you to follow me. We got something for you. And you know how we do it over here. Our mantra, I am all powerful in love. I hope you know that. I hope that you believe that. I am all powerful in love. We don't have a spirit of fear. We don't have a spirit of intimidation. We've got power. We've got love. We've got a sound mind. We doing this thing. And I am all powerful in love. I need you to know your power. Stop saying you're weak. Stop saying you can't do it. Stop saying you don't know how you're going to make it. I am all powerful in love. I have power. I have love. I have a sound mind. Now listen, one of the things that we talk about over here is the change that's happening. And we ain't just talking about change, but we understand we got to be the change. And we're doing this not divided, but we are united in our effort. So our mantra also includes the reality that it's us, you, me, we, all, because we all in this thing together. I love y'all with the love of God. You guys are just powerful lions. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you for coming into this space. All of my streamers, if you're not following them, please put a 1 down in the chat so folks can follow you. I want every streamer in here to have the full support of the Lion's Den. Monica Smith, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you, sis. I always got to give moderator love to Michelle Brown, the Rebel Inc., also to Shelly Thunder. These babies cover me. Y'all just don't understand. They cover me and they cover this stream. I love y'all. All kinds of mod love. Sweet Jamaica, thank you for joining us today. SK8843 and Miss K Love, thank you for those resubs and the subs. I appreciate Mama Barnes, Shelly Thunder, Michelle Browno, LaWanda Baskerville, The Rebel Inc., Mish H, Stacy 546, Crazy Berrytown, Jonna CPW, BTD Mom, Kai Chick, Fairly All Day, Stacy Blessed One. You all were kind enough to share my stream on this beautiful day. I want you to know that I appreciate you for that because you didn't have to do it. Once more for the subscriber of the week, Sheila Miles, this stream appreciates you. You are all that in a bag of chips. Sis, we love you. Now, you know how we get up out of here. You know how we call a day. We say, listen, I want you to always have peace for your journey. I love you guys. See you back here tomorrow morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. I love you so much. Now copy, if you will, that raid message. Please copy that raid message so you can follow us on out of here. I love you. Peace.